Okay, well, welcome. This is a live trading video. I did one yesterday, except for there was no audio. I am trying to set up my PC for streaming, so I can do live streams, more on YouTube. And I just had the audio mapping wrong. Anyways, I've confirmed that it works now. We're good. So I did. I took some out of this account. Because I did make about $3,000 yesterday live trading, but I brought it back to 10,050 where we were. So I figured what we would do is just continue from where the last video was. I'm not going to say that I just traded and I went 3,000. You didn't see it. Pretty much, if I'm going to just what you're going to see going forward is just live growing the account, or obviously maybe I might have my first red day in over a year, but I think we'll be able to grow the account. The other thing that we're trading here is Bitcoin. It is at a weekly level, or the weekly open. So we'll be trading Bitcoin if there's opportunity presents. This is Quan Tower. Getting to know the platform a little bit better. It's I'd say 60% of what I would like, but you know, it's kind of cool. So I'm using it. It has enough that makes it worthwhile to use. Put it that way. I am drinking coffee. I do have a appointment here. I am on treatment, so I get my quote-unquote pump off today in a couple hours. So this will probably only be an hour video or so. Where are we at on the ES? I'll only be trading the ES here. I got to make sure I've rolled everything forward, and I have not. So I don't know why auto roll forward isn't on anymore. So where are we at here? We had the initial opening range, and let's actually add that to our chart because we don't have that on this chart. Because what I've done is I've set up specifically, I've set up specifically just a ES chart because I'm gonna just trade ES for now until I stream. I might be trading my live account, but the reason for that is I'd say people that are in the training, they're trading mainly the ES. Some are trading the MN, you know, the mini. But I think that I trade NASDAQ, the MN, or, you know, if I were trading the minis, I'd be trading the MNQ. I just like the way it moves. I like the way it moves. The ES is great. And I'm trading the same system. So we're trading the Rexdog system. But right here is a perfect fade trade. You know, I'm actually just going to take this. So
order filled.
We're going to take this fade trade, and then we're going to add here if we get picked up, and we'll add here. Perfect fade trade. The ES chart's in the middle of a range. You see that? We're in the middle of a range. And why is so I've got Bollinger Bands on here for some odd reason. I haven't set up this screen for trading. I was trading off another screen. So why is this? Oh, there we go. It's not set to the right time. All right. So there's our first opening range. So I usually have two opening ranges on, and then we're going to add another one. Ticky Tools, opening range, and make that a 930. So I have two opening ranges. I do there should be two. I do a 830, which is market open for my time for the first hour. And then there should have been another one, 930. And then save. Yeah, so then that one's 930. Now I usually change the colors on that one to, I don't know what color I usually have. I think it's not yellow, it's purple. Save. So that just tells me the opening range. Those are good levels. Sorry, I'm looking at Discord. Where we're at on the, let's look at where we're at here. So let's go here. This is reduced so you can see everything. So we can see here on the BTC chart, I know it's a little busy. We are right at the weekly open. I mean, weekly open held up. I actually did catch this move and got out when it tested the RDA here. So, and then I took half off, and then I put my stop loss right around here. And I got knocked out on my stop. A little aggressive. I should have just maybe kept it like right at the weekly open. But I figured, it's either going to retest it or the algo is going to switch or whatever. Right now, there's no trade because it could just as easily rip through the weekly open as it could come down, test it, and hold up. So we're just kind of waiting to see what does it want to do. Let's look at the actual NDX. So let's go here. NDX day trade. Not NDX, ES. I'm sorry. So let's open up our super, or not super. Okay. And I will be responding on Discord here too, so I don't want it to be silent, but I'll try to keep up something that, like, well, let's look where we're at in our trade, in our MNQ trade. Oh, we're down. Look at that. $21. We're getting slammed. Gonna take a little bit more in that trade.
Order filled.
I know I said I was gonna trade the ES only, and look, I will, but I can't not take a trade that to me is an obvious trade. So in my system, we're trading the RexDog system. This RexDog trade is an obvious trade. What I don't have up here is I don't have the MNQ tick chart. So that probably would be more of a, it would be more obvious that it's an obvious trade, I should say, based on the RexDog system. We cut here last day. You mean to say footprint chart, advanced order books, advanced indicators? Let me respond to this person. Nope. It's simply to track high bid ask marketers and to know more what's about soofing. Maybe 2 years ago I would have thought that way. I should be talking out loud. The other thing I'm going to do in these streams, and I know this is going to annoy the heck out of people, is I went back, and I'm just going to share this. I went back and I said, I went back and I said, what's different about me doing live trading compared to like when I'm trading? And what I noticed, there's one thing. Number one, the camera's on, so I act. I feel like I have to add value. I feel like I'm I've watched some live trading videos and I understand it kind of gets quiet or whatever, but I feel like I have to add value. The challenge with that is then that takes me distraction off me watching the chart the way that I should. The other thing that I realized is that I usually have music going. Music, and I have an eclectic taste in music. I listen to everything from rap to rap's my go-to, but listen to rap to heavy metal to jazz to I enjoy music, and I notice that does something in my mind that gives me more focus. I've tried TV, but I just get annoyed with like MSNBC or like even Bloomberg. I just cannot stand the asinine comments they make about just things that, look, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but they just make some of the dumbest comments about some of the weirdest things. So that annoys me. But I found that I had music going a lot of the time. And that's what's missing in these live streams for me, is that I'm trading, but that music, for whatever reason, kind of sets the tempo inside my mind. And the only thing I don't listen to is like love songs. I've tried. I do have like a love song playlist that's just too mellow. Other than that, I do. So what I'm gonna do, and I know this is gonna annoy some people, so I do apologize in advance. We literally don't have any other trade going, but is that I've created a soundboard for myself, and it's basically just for me to have fun with, and I say fun because what I notice is that in my live trading, like, or when I'm trading and I'm not having the camera on and I'm just trading, the music's on, there's a level of brevity and fun that I'm having. I can't explain it other than, look, trading's not about the market, it's about knowing yourself. So what I'm saying is that music adds a certain level of levity and fun to my trading. It's serious. I'm deadly serious when I'm trading, but there's a level of, I just can't explain it. It's kind of rolling with it, having fun, even if I'm massively down on a position or something and I'm managing myself out of that trade, I still kind of maintain that level of energy, I guess you could say. So that's where I will be putting in stuff like this.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Now, I'm not going to overdo it, right? So, for instance, like when we're looking at a Bitcoin chart and maybe it's like, let's say Bitcoin rips up, right? Maybe we might have a little fun and say,
Nothing compares to you.
that's relatively tame. Now, for some people that don't like rap, then you're going to probably be annoyed at some of my rap ones. And I'm not going to overdo it, but I'm just telling you, this for me, just this little music here, adds that level of energy that actually makes me trade more in the zone. So I'm just sharing that with you. I know it's going to annoy some people. So like we're up $38. We could do this.
I got money now, bitch.
Now, I don't swear a lot in my videos. If you knew me in person, I could probably fit in with the Wolf of Wall Street, those type of stuff every now and then. So I was in the military for a while. I've, had an interesting background. So I do have more of I try to keep it PG-13 on the videos. But because I'm going to be bringing in rap here, there will be various words that might be, some people might have challenges with. Like I said, I gotta do me. I can't do live streams and not go with what works for me. I'm not going to change my trading style to do live streams. I'm just not going to do it. So that's the only thing I'm going to caution you on going forward. And if it annoys, go ahead and put a comment below. Maybe I might not do it, but I highly probably will. Anyways, so I'm just not trying to be a jerk. I'm just saying that, hey, I'm literally going to probably continue it because I've noticed since I've been doing it, it's in the place of actual music, of me having music on. All right, so I don't see an ES trade here. That's why we're not trading the ES. Actually, there is a short here we could probably take if we get picked up here. So we'll see if we can get picked up here. We should do a participation trade here.
Order filled.
All right. A little early. I'm sharing with someone on Discord, just kind of answering questions as well. Quick answer. So a fade trade. We are fading on the MNQ, are we not? Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. We are fading on the MNQ. This is a prime example. Momentum is long. We are fading the overall momentum of the chart. Real simple. That's what a fade is.
Order filled. Order filled.
All right, we got picked up, and maybe we were a little aggressive on that, so we will put 2 here, and we will put 1 here. Now we should look at our MNQ position and see whether or not we should probably take some profit on that. So let's take 1,
Order filled.
2,
Order filled.
and let's put a stop here and here. At a stall point, want to take some profit. Now let's go to our ES and let's concentrate on ES. So we are a little aggressive on the ES. We are expecting, it is momentum short on the 5 minute. Let's look at the actual structure of the market. Let's see what it's doing. SPX, 30 minute. All right, so we're below the weekly open. Had it tested. Minor pack, pay attention candle here. Daily opens here. Okay, got the RDA down here. So we answered the 3 questions, do we not? Where is price coming from? Where is it going? And how does it want to get there? Well, price is coming from up here. It is going possibly down to the RDA, possibly here. How does it want to get there? Maybe it wants to test the weekly open again. If that's the case, we're extremely early. So we need to really watch this trade based on how the 30-minute structure is lining up. Let's look at the 15. See, I don't look at different charts to convince myself of something. There's a specific reason why I'm looking at the 15. I'm looking at the 15 to see, okay, is 15 doing what we're seeing on the chart, which is creating a level. So there is a level here. Where's my line? There it is. There's a level here. That level aligns with this pack. So that level, a close above that level on the 15 minute, we probably should get out of the trade. All right, back to the structure. Let's go look at Bitcoin. Where are we at on Bitcoin? Bitcoin is, it is thinking about holding the weekly open still. All right, let's see. Let's check out our position. All right, so we're up in both the MNQ and the ES. What do we have here? We have the 5-minute chart, and I don't know why this 5-minute chart looks like this. Once again, I'm setting this up specifically for, like this one panel I'm going to set up just for trading the ES. So I haven't fully got to set it up yet. As you can see, it still has... I don't like this look. I just don't. I like the just black. This is what I like. So I need to, every time I do this, I just have to figure out, like, okay. It's because I don't do it enough because it's already set up. Sorry, I know you're just hearing me type. So we're up $225. We're in at 4. We don't want to put our stops in yet. On this chart, it is, so this chart is fixed stops. On this chart, it's trailing stops. And usually what I do here is I have each button here set up like this is a cancel all, but I won't do that until, and then I usually have this as a reverse. You'll see I reverse often. But I don't have this set up yet. Let's look at the MNQ. Or do we start at 10,050? Yeah. So we should take 1 off here.
Order filled.
These are no longer valid. Shouldn't be there. Put this one here. We're in 1. Maybe we caught the high for the day on the MNQ. So then I probably would have been, well, we'll let the algo switch over, and then we'll we'll go from there. Might be getting back to our entry here, so I would be okay with having an entry picked up there, and then another entry picked up here on this trade. Let's see. MNQ is just doing the run. Oh yeah, what was I doing? I was like, I was looking at okay. So I'm gonna bring over Discord so you can see what I'm chatting about. It's just kind of fair to you. I mean, I know you want to see the positions and stuff, but if I'm going to be chatting in Discord while there's nothing else to do, literally, there's nothing else. I'll look at another. There's like all the charts in crypto are mirroring exactly what Bitcoin's doing. So there's no other opportunity for divergence. ETC, ETH, like Bitcoin's down 1%, ETC is down 3, ETH is down 3, EOS is down 3, LTC is down 2.5, BNB is down 0.3, 3.3. You know, so there's no divergence on any of these charts. If anything, we should probably be long here in a participation trade, just given what it's doing. And I think we'll do that. So we'll add to the bid. All right, we're in Bitcoin long. Let's look where we're at here before I go back to Discord. So here, I'm just going to have Discord up here. I won't go into private conversations, but I'll just do, just so you know what I'm typing. So basically, there's just questions about what's fade and trade. This one here, do these charts are better than candles? Yeah, I like these charts, but you have to realize that, you know, you have to get adept at using this. We can observe a bid-ask market data to save from sudden pump and dump and get an idea where more money is added. Is there anything else more we get from these charts? I would say, look, I'm not here to convince anybody of my system, so it's more of I believe I've created the best way to reverse engineer momentum in the market, but there's millions of ways to trade. The bottom line is, does it help you have a successful P&L? Repeatable. So the bottom line with any chart type, does it provide you with an edge that is repeatable? To your style of trading and who you are as a trader. All right, so we have the MNQ is still selling off. Probably wish we would have went heavier there. Let's look at here. We are, see, there's nothing for me to do because two things were going to happen in this trade. I would have got an alert that we were picked up on these additional entries, or it's going to do what it's doing now. So technically I could probably have protective stops up here on this, and we'll do that just in case it does spike. Maybe Trump comes back and decides to tweet something to Putin, because I think how do I say this correctly? Putin is meeting with someone from the United States today, so maybe there might be a Trump tweet that used to happen 2 years ago, where Trump would tweet something and then bam, the market would go crazy. All right, there we go. We're getting the sell-off we're looking for. All right, now we're at the lower of the bottom range. Let's actually take one off.
Order filled.
Take some profit. Let's then move this, and let's move this here. That's our trailing stop. And then let's put some trailing stops in, because if it comes back up to this point, most likely we want to be taken out and start over. So we've got 3 trailing stops. This is invalid. I'll just let that position run. Let's see where we're at on BTC. All right, we're in a participation trade. I say participation because we are not at the best entry. Where are we at? We're in the middle of a range. Terrible entry. But we are with momentum. We are not arguing with the chart. And what does the chart tell us? The chart tells us, if we go to the actual chart I want to look at, what does this chart tell us? Well, we've got the weekly level here, which is the white line. The weekly level has held on a pack. This pack is invalid. So this pay attention candle is now invalid. So we're in the middle of a range. Terrible entry, but the short-term momentum is long. We have the RDA above us that's been rejected multiple times. So that's our first target. So we're not arguing with the short-term momentum. The short-term momentum on this chart is long. The algorithm has switched. So the algorithm switched pretty much on this candle. This candle and then the following price action had the short-term algorithm switch, where we're in a fade trade. So we are in a fade long trade on Bitcoin, but we are going with the short-term momentum. Look, I'm explaining everything in the rec stock system for those that are in the training. You know that. Now, we probably got knocked out. Yeah. So which one did we get knocked out of? Yeah, so we got knocked out of one of our trailing stops. All right, I did pause the video for a second there. I had to, well, do something personal. So blow my nose. Didn't want to have that come over on the mic. So let's see where we're at. MNQ, we're going to move that down a little bit. Maybe make some more profit if we get taken out. ES did hit a level. Let's look on the chart, see what it's doing. All right. So it's stalled at this level, or here. That's where it's stalled. So it's probably, so I would assume the next level it's going to look at is this level here, which is 42.41. That is also a purple line. Okay. All right. That purple's pretty important based on the rec stock system. So we will anticipate that. Maybe what we'll do, take these off, and we'll see if we can get picked up for additional shorts. There we go. And let's do one more there. Okay. Oh, Bitcoin. What are you doing? So, look at that. Our participation trade's going against us. That's why it's called a participation trade, because we're participating with the market, with the momentum, but it should be a small size, which we are in, and a terrible entry. So if we go here and look at what's happening, 5-minute chart, tick chart, large tick chart, 1 hour. I am starting to get the hang of some of this platform, so I'm getting a little bit more proficient with it. So what do we see? Well, on the higher tick chart, large ticks, we are in the wrong side of this trade. So we will get out of this.
Order filled.
And we will go short. All right. Then I will come here, 0.5, and enter short. And come here, 0.5, enter short. Yeah. I mean, it can go either way here. It could find support. But I see a higher likelihood of, because this pack has been invalidated, I see a higher likelihood that it's going to sell off. But it could just rip up 1% from here. You know, the day is at an interesting area. It's below that open of this candle here. Or it's not below. That open is held, which is the weekly open. But it does have some interesting areas down here. So I could see the downside just as well as the upside. There we are. Starting to get some sell-off there. Okay. Now, this is where you got to be pretty quick on something like this, because where are we at? You got to be mindful of where you're at. Okay. Just had a security alert. Do I need to fire up or grab the AR? No, I do not. Do not need to grab the AR. I'm in America. So, we're armed here. Let's see. We're at the weekly open, so we know that, right? We know we're at the weekly open, and that's where it's going to potentially test. So we've got to be quick to take profits on this, because it could just hit this and bounce off. So let's watch that. Let's also look and see where we're at on this. Okay, we're good there. Didn't get picked up. Let's go back to Bitcoin, and I'm going to take 25% off. So I took 25% profit in that position right now. We'll see what happens. This limit order is no longer valid. This limit order needs to come off the books. Why is it not? Why can't I remove it? There it is. And we're not going to go negative, so we'll put our stop loss here. The other thing I found about this platform, just like in TradingView where you kind of measure things, but this is easy. You just right click, and it's just so much easier than TradingView. Well, TradingView it's lags sometimes. All right, so
Order filled.
all right, we got picked up on one of our positions there. All right. We're up to 10.44 for those that like to track P&L. Okay, so what do we see here? So this is a good example. What do we expect? Well, we expect a reaction at this level, do we not? It's the weekly open. A previous candle moved 1% or so from that area. So when it comes back here, two things can happen. You're going to expect a reaction here, or it's going to rip through it. So you kind of trade accordingly to that. Take profits right around this area, which is kind of where we did. Potentially maybe even take half off now if it looks like it's going to hold up. We are getting an initial signal there. See that little triangle? An initial signal. I'm still trading Bitcoin small because I'm still learning this platform. So when I trade on this platform, because I'm still learning it, until I get completely proficient with it where I don't start making dumb mistakes, I don't trade at size. Not this platform, sorry, but this platform. So the biggest I'll ever go on this is 6. I'll do 6 Bitcoin. That's the biggest I would do. Or 6 ETH. So I'm trading ETH and Bitcoin on this, and maybe something, maybe Link or something else that pops up. But really, if I don't see a big divergence in that altcoin, then I'm not going to be trading it. Let's check Discord, see if we day trader. I never used it before, but I wanted to because it gave more data. I'm a better retail, still learning, but I think I can use this. But looking too much data can affect other way. I'm not sure. My general suggestion is you start with raw charts. And I generally suggest people start with raw charts and you know, I'd say 3 to 4 EMAs or MAs. That's my general suggestion. Okay, so where are we at on Bitcoin here? Well, that level held up so far. We are above a momentum spot on the big tick. Little tick, we should be probably a little bit up here. Give it a chance to reject there. Not maximizing our profit. We just took 25%, so it's not really a great profit, especially if it holds up. But the best situation at this point in time would be a rip down. So the SPX is holding a little bit at that level. So this low, go to the 5 minute. still momentum short. Short-term momentum short. Where's the RDA? Yeah, it's momentum short. So we're worth momentum on this trade now on the ES. I think we were originally as well, but we're with momentum. Let's look at the Bitcoin. Bitcoinage. All right. That's not the chart we were looking at. I have that in the browser. So the weekly open so far is held. We'll see if it holds, if it continues to hold. Let's look and see where we're at here. We're in 5. MNQ, we're in 1. Just being patient. Got another security alert. I will turn that off because that will get annoying based on what's happening. All right. Let's see where we're at. There we go. What we want to see, it rip through here, because where is it going? Let's look at the 1 hour. Well, I'd like to see it go, and we would go long probably right around here. So in this area we will go long if it gets there, which is 38.17. Okay, let's share that in Discord. BTC, or target is 38,100 area. All trades chat. I haven't seen someone put that. Let's try. Already average with news. I'm trying to understand what he's saying here. Oh, SXP? Is that a symbol? Huh. Let's do that. Look, I'm open to... I learn stuff every day. SXP. Okay. That looks thin. All right, so we are in a thinly traded asset, but the Rexdog system does hold up, does it not? See that? The Rexdog system. I've added now the 200 EMA and the 200 MA to this system. What you can do now, which is pretty cool, I think, is I can do an average, and that'll take the average of both. And now the line that we have on here, which should be green or red because it went away. Where did it go? Where is the 200? Maybe that code hasn't been officially released yet. Yeah, I don't think it's officially been released yet. So it should have turned the 200 into one line and then a green or red, but it didn't quite do that. So we'll just keep the 2 on. We'll keep the 200 and the simple. So the simple EMA and the EMA. So the EMA, the 200 EMA is green, and the simple moving average is red, the 200. All right. Let's change that over. Let's go here. All right. So what do we see? We see the weekly broke. All right. That's what we'd like to see. And we're up pretty decently in that position. Are we not? We are. We're up 1%. I think that's cause for taking an additional 25% off. All right, and it's caused to move our stop down. Let's move our stop down to here. So, what do we expect? Once again, where is price going? Where is price coming from? How does it want to get there? Remember, that's what we're asking. Let's go back to this chart. So, where is price going? How does it want to get there? Well, we think it's going down here. That's what we've outlined. That's where we'll go long. And then from there, it's breaking the weekly open. So what do we expect? Look, In every trade you do, you should be looking at the long side and the short side, or whatever side, both sides. So what do we expect? Let's say price in the, so we're about to close. It's 9:56, about to close. Let's say the next hour spikes down to here. And then what do we expect? Well, I expect if it spikes down to here, we're going to come back and test the weekly open again. It's either going to close above it or fail at it. We've got this range here. So that's what my two scenarios. Now, let's go off the other scenario. The other scenario is, look, I'm trading the Rexdog system. I know it looks really confusing. We are potentially adding additional lines, or I will probably recommend these projection lines that you see here. Someone in the, we've been talking a lot about this in the den. So someone in the den here quite a while back, started mentioning these, and I started looking at it, and I do like it. So I think I'm going to adopt it to the Rexdog trading system, and I'm going to recommend rules around it, and it'll be very clear. At least that's my goal. So here we are in this. Let's go back to this. Oh, we need something. So let's do this.
I'm one word with 10 letters, successful. One word with 10 letters, successful.
All right, there we go. Let's see. So that's our plan. It could stop here. Why would it stop here? Let's talk about that based on the Rexdog system. Well, we don't have any bias indicators except for maybe an extreme band here, that little yellow line. So that would be a potential stall area. We also are below all these lows. So you expect people to say, this is the way I explain it. The algorithm says, oh, below these lows is value. So if we put a line, another line below these lows, we say, oh, anything below that. Now look, it stopped right at this low. So when you're reading the story of the chart, look, the market's every close, every wick, everything's giving you data. And you don't argue with the chart. A lot of times I get in trouble because I argue with the chart because I think at my experience level, I'm smarter than the market. I have to be reminded every single day that I'm completely stupid. I'm dumb. The market's all knowing. The market is the smartest thing in the planet when I'm dealing with it. And I'm just dumb. It literally, the market makes, here's the way to look at it. You're playing, I would say chess, but you're playing Go, but you're playing chess with the market. Here's the difference. You think you're playing chess with the market. What is really happening is, yeah, you're playing chess on a chessboard, except the market is making up rules that you don't know that you're learning as you're playing. If you've ever played a game with a kid where they kind of make up the rules and they just happen to win all the time, it's kind of the market. The market is doing that. You're playing chess, but like he might move the king like a double horse move. I don't know if it's called a horse knight. Double knight move, right? Or maybe he moves a L and then another L. And you say, well, I didn't know the king could do that. And then the market will say, hey, that's the rule. I can do it. So then now you know a new rule, and now you've got to adjust to that. That's kind of how the market works. So there we go. We got the close. We'd like to see a spike down here. I am in long or short. Let's see where we're at here. Oh, look at that. That's not looking good, is it? As far as coming back to our entry area. So let's be a little bit less aggressive with our entries here. And let's let this go to potentially a negative there. We've got end of hour action, so just turned 10. So this is end of hour action. We've got a half hour for the second opening range to unfold. Bitcoin, that's not looking good. I'm going to take an additional 25% off. That 5 minute looks like it's going to test right where our, we'll put it there. It might overshoot and knock us out of this position. And we might not be good there. All right, let's go to Discord. So this is the private den. Go to general. Let's go back to this trades. Wait, didn't he have that? Oh, no, all trades chat. There it was. Yeah, he made a great point here. One of the things I like about Excavalis is he says one time he didn't trade the news, and after a little bit of time he changed his mind and give a lesson about news trading. Then I start understanding what it does mean to be a trader. We have an open mind with anything in trading. Yes, couldn't agree more. Fluid mind and realizing the market is smart and you're dumb is key to successful trading. We just talked about that, didn't we? All right, so let's look at our positions. We did not get picked up yet. We did come to our entry. How do we read that? Well, we read that as we were a little aggressive on our
Order
entry.
filled.
So let's add. That's how we read that. Bitcoin is coming back up to test the M9. We want to see a failure there. It might take us out. Take us out at least where we're covering fees and some profit. That's a good. Now on the bigger tick chart, I don't know why this isn't moving. I have gone into the settings more and more with this stuff. And so it says manual scale, but I put auto scale. But it's like, I think when you change it or something, it doesn't remember that. Like I said, this is some of these videos obviously are me complaining about learning the platforms when I'm learning a new platform. See where we're at on the SPX structure chart. Still, this level to me is still the target. This level. I don't think this low. This low could be the target, but I think it's more this level. That's what it looks like it wants to do. Hit this level and then maybe recapture the weekly open. When you see these little red arrows up here, that means it's below the weekly open. Green is above the weekly open. So I can quickly tell without even looking at the orange line. When it's orange, it's below. When it's white, it's above. But here, I can look here and see these arrows at the top and clearly see where price is at in relation to the weekly open. I did mention my USD CAD position. I think that's on this chart. USD CAD. No, it's not. It's not that. CAD. It's here. Okay, why is it not on this chart? Oh, you know why it's not on this chart? Because I didn't save it. So here, USD CAD. Okay. There we go. Jesus. So I've been talking about this trade for a while. It's in pretty decent profit now. I mean, it's about 1% off, up. So, you know, not bad, 46 grand or whatever. You know, I'm still projecting the RDA test here, and I'd like to see what I'm telling the market to do is I'd like the market to like rip up to here and surprise everybody. That's what I'd really like the market to do. So if you know anybody that controls the market, if you can, maybe call them and say, hey, we're highly suggesting that you rip up here to some of these extreme RDA bands. Maybe hit this RDA band. I'd be happy. I'd take profit there. Or we can hit this extreme RDA band, which aligns with this breakdown candle close, does it not? That's perfect area. So if you know anybody in the market that can control the market, just tell them that. And then,
'Cause all I do is win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make 'em stay there.
there. All right, I know that can be jarring for some people. It might wake you up too, especially if you just kind of have this on the background. But that's fine. I do have other stuff in here that I probably won't use.
What's up, Doc?
So I might use TV stuff too. Or, you know, one of the things, look, if you have the ability to trade and make money off trading, you realize how fortunate we are, really. If you've traveled around the world and you've done to different places, the ability that you can sit in front of a screen and make income, whatever amount it is pretty phenomenal. In past human history, the ability to make legal tender in this way just didn't exist. And some parts of the world, that it's not possible. It's tough, and just given circumstance and everything else. So really, it's to be thankful that you have this opportunity. I mean, that's really a way to look at it. And all right, US dollar, Canadian dollar. We are on a little bit of a retrace on the 5 minute, but let's look at the 1 hour. Oh, look at that. Daily got rejected. So looking for the weekly open to hold here. Ideally, that's what we want. So if you know anybody in the market, please tell them to do that. All right, so where are we at here? SPX is selling off like we want to see. Let's see where we're at on our Bitcoin. Well, got an initial rejection area. It is holding this low. So what's our first area of interest? Very simple charting. We got a level there. Close below that level, then our thesis for the downside target remains strong. Let's like my own comment. There we go. Like my own comment. I'll respond to this person specifically. With conviction. Also realize most mistakes new traders make is starting too big. It's a marathon, not a triathlon. Is that how you spell that? Most start with triathlon. Even beyond that, more like a triathlon on top of Everest. All right. I do like these charts, but once again, I don't need them. So, like, one of these videos, I'm just going to do raw price action. We're going to take all of the Rec stock system off. We're just going to do raw price action. And it's because I know my system so well. I see these lines without them, and I see the key areas. So you say, well, why do you have it? Because it gives me an additional edge. The Rec stock system gives me an additional edge. Following the rules. See, this is what, if you're not in the training and you're just watching this, you're just watching my videos, you're not picking this up because you obviously haven't been trained in the Rec stock system. And it feels like I'm just willy-nilly taking trades and doing that. I'm not. I'm following the system based on reading the story of the chart and trading off the system rules. I'm not breaking any rules in my system. Every now and then I might break a rule, but the rule is either with a fade or a momentum trade. I do not like the way this is not selling off, though. I do like the way Bitcoin's selling off right now. If we go to Bitcoin, we see that we are about at that level. We expect a reaction at this level. Remember, in trading, what you're really doing is you're marking out where you expect reactions. And then you're going to get two things. You're going to get an intention or a reaction. What are we getting there? Right at that level, we got a reaction. Do we not? Now it's unfolding as we speak, but we got a reaction. This is what frustrates a lot of people. Some people would have gone short maybe here at this candle close, and maybe here. And then what happens is that they're short at a really bad level. And then it feels like when the market comes to this level and it stalls here, like it knows that you have a position there. So it can be very frustrating for a lot of people. That's why you just need to really have great entries. And you saw when I went short there, We were originally long in a participation trade, got out of the long, and went short because the chart was starting to say, okay, we want to be momentum short. The algorithm's changing to momentum short, and the weekly open looks like it's going to break. Now this level still we're looking for a close below this level. Ideally, we'll close below this level, and then we'll have a range expansion on the next candle. That's what we're looking for, ideally. Down to our 38. There we go. We do have some range expansion, do we not? 38,100. So let's see. Let's look at the chart. Let's see what's happening on the chart. Okay, let's go to the actual. I need to just have the right window open. And I changed from there to the US CAD, so let's do BTC perp. All right. There we go. Let's see if we can get there. Might be too much for this one candle. But we broke that low here. That's a signal for additional algorithm to start doing something. A lot of people like to just a tick below the low. They're going direction of the trade. Now we are seeing some support. Now you could say whatever. I don't care how you explain it. Maybe stop losses are getting hit. Maybe people see value here once again. I don't really care how you explain it. Doesn't matter. SPX is selling off. Let's not go negative on this position. Can we agree on that? So let's put in protective stops, trailing stops. Yeah, let's not.
Stop filled.
Yeah.
Stop filled. Order filled.
We got out of that position completely. We were actually up to 600. We didn't take profit. I just don't like the way it's not selling off. It's hitting that level. See, it's hitting that opening range level. So we'll start over up here. Have better entries if we get picked up. Actually, I want to be there. I want to be right here. And right here. And right here. And right here. There we go.
Order filled.
All right.
Order filled.
Ooh, look at that. That's a big candle. It could be a pay attention candle. Especially the way it's moving there. Could it not? Yeah. Could be a pay attention candle. Let's move this up, not be this aggressive. Let's be here. Scale in correctly. There we go. All right, Bitcoin is continuing its sell-off. Yeah. Look at that.
I got money now. Bitch.
Yeah. Okay, let's take some off. I just don't like the way it's stalling there. Took additional 25% off. Probably should take half. But well, it's still selling off, so let's let it do its thing. Let's be patient.
Order filled.
Let's do that.
Now who gon' stop me? Who gon' stop me, huh? Who gon' stop me? Who gon' stop me, huh?
All right. There we go. Why do I have this up? BTC. Let's look at ETH. ETH.
Order filled.
Perp. We got filled on the ES. Ooh. Is it going to test this upper range? All right. Let's not be this aggressive. Let's get entered up here, which will put us at a high end of what we should be in this account because we're at 10 right now. So I'm definitely trading aggressively here. Do not, if you're a beginner, do not size in at this level. Should have probably went long there once this algo switched here. But I see more of a potential of a downside than an upside. So if this trade goes off, we'll do that. So let's look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Discord. Nothing's going on. You know, for me, sometimes I just go on, not rants, but I just go on. Oh, we're at 1 hour. I need to stop the video and restart it just so it renders down. Okay, let me do that. Okay, so check in before I leave here to my appointment. We did get knocked out of the ES here. So we're at 10,563. So it didn't get knocked out at a good price, obviously, because we were up to like 8 something. We did get knocked out of Bitcoin as well. I was getting ready to go. So we're knocked out there. So, you know, maybe the weekly is looking to hold on both of these. I still see more weakness here than I see strength. So we're going to actually enter.
Order filled.
Enter here. I'm going to put a stop, trailing stop up here, and a trailing stop up here. Actually, I really probably should just put one of those. Let's put that actually. Yeah, there, we're good. So this will be a short 2-minute video because I'm just entering on, and I'm going to leave and just keep in trailing stops. So we'll see. Bitcoin is like it's trying to keep that upward momentum. I would say potentially there might be, let's see, might be opportunity to short again there, but it's I mean it's coming. Look at that. So you're seeing a lot of this. We really should be long there, obviously. I said before, we're seeing a lot of this from these lows. Just these lows are starting to have pumps on the long side. So, you know, you really can't ignore that. Got to be careful when you're down here, like we were. We're going to take that as a signal that we will go long, though. So let's go long. So we'll take that as a signal to go long. Let's see here. SPX is still showing weakness. So let's put an entry here. Let's put an entry here. Hopefully we'll get picked up. All right. Let's look at our Bitcoin position. So we went long. Should have probably read the chart and went long sooner, but I wasn't here, so it doesn't matter. Trade with the charts in front of us. Expecting another 1% move up here. So we're up now. Let's see if it fails or it continues. There we go. Let's take some off. Next spike up, we'll take some off. There we go. Keep going. All right. Took 25% off. We'll move our stop up. Maybe we'll get taken out. It's fine. See where we're at on. I wanted to go larger there. Come on, man. Killing me, Smalls. Look at that. That would have been a great trade, wouldn't it have? Yeah. Did not get aggressive enough. Take this off. Let's put one trailing stop here and one trailing stop here. Let's actually take a profit.
Order filled.
Let's take some profit. Never go broke taking profit. All right. Let's do it. You know.
I can never lose what you throw.
There we go. All right, let's see here. Bitcoin is still rising. We're going to take a little bit more off. Never go broke taking profit. Well, you could. If you take profit and you pay fees and it doesn't pay for it. But, you never really typically go broke taking profit. Oh, look. Oh, this is what sucks. I need to leave. And I don't want to leave. But I have to. So we will stop this 5-minute video here. We're up to, let's see where we're at. Bitcoin, we might get knocked out of this trade here. But we did participate a little bit. A little bit late on that momentum move. It's fine. Probably momentum long. We probably could, when we come back, we probably will, the week might hold up and then we'll be momentum long the rest of the day. On our ES trade, we just have one position left, really. Trailing stop in there. We're at 10,770 on P&L. Our MNQ trade, so I'm not even looking at the ES chart there, but our MNQ trade do need to move down our stop down to here, get taken out. Probably on a, we'll put it up here. Get taken out maybe around $120, whatever it is. Our ES trade, really don't want to add here, although I probably should. But I'm not here to actively manage the trade, so I'm not going to add. Let's just let it play out. Let the chart play out. I will see you when I come back from my appointment. A lot of screens not showing because I forgot. I should have mentioned this before. The FOMC economic projections is at 1300, which came out, which is where we're seeing the spikes, and the Fed press conference is at 1330. So we got a spike. I wasn't here for that spike, but I'm here for the reaction. And you see the account's different. We're 53,000. It's another sub account I have in this platform. I should be trading. Well, I've got a couple other things up as well. Bitcoin, we missed the move on Bitcoin. So the same kind of thing happened on Bitcoin. We missed that move. I just sat down like right around 1 o'clock here, and things just started moving. And I said, I'm not going to trade smaller. I'm going to trade because this is what I'm built for, this type of volatility. Like, this is what I love to trade in, is this type of volatility. So let's take some profit on this.
Order filled. Order filled.
6,000. Let's take
Order filled.
more.
Order filled. Order filled.
All right, let's put some trailing stops in there. All right. There we go. Let's look at our Bitcoin charts. Let's look at my long. All right, good there. Look at that now. That account's good. That account's good. That account's good. Here, here, here. Sweet. All right. We're in the money. I know it's going to be jarring. I said I was going to go back to that account. I'm just not going to try. I want the next hour for me can make a pretty good day. Just the next hour. So I'm going to trade at bigger sizes. Not going to trade at my normal size just because I'm still recording and I haven't got that down yet. But we're trading at bigger sizes. We're not going to... Look, I like trading at 10 grand. That's great. But I also like trading at having at least 50, 54 grand, whatever we have in the account now. So let's see where this goes. Sell off. We are looking for pretty big sell off there. Below this low, we'll go long. Let it get below the low, then we'll go long. No matter what the news says. So get below that low, we'll go long. MNQ probably is freaking out as well. Don't want to quite go long there yet. Give it a little bit more room. Why the hell is the RSI on this thing? Didn't I ask that before? Okay. I don't need the RSI there. Alright, we're going to go in.
Order filled.
Oh, wait. Damn it. We're going to go in on the MNQ.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
3. Here. 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 All right. Basically a fade trade there, as you know. Really good fade trade. Got to be some reaction here. Let's buy more.
Order filled. Order filled.
All right, there we go. ES is not quite where we want it to be. Let's put a line on there. Horizontal line down here. Oh yeah, I forget. Damn it. This charting does suck. I forgot this platform sucks in charting. Bitcoin. Nothing to do there. We are 19 after the hour. The Fed conference, press conference, starts at 13:30. Look at that. It hit that exact point, didn't it? See that? Look at that. That rejection hit that exact point we were mentioning before. Rex dog system doesn't fail. I mean, it does fail because no system is 100%, but it does pretty good there, didn't it? Pretty good rejection area if we would have been here to trade that. It's coming back to that. Why can't I watch the Fed conference? We could be annoying and be on Twitter on this Fed conference thing. So like here. First move post the Fed, normally wrong one, of course. That's okay, that's a given. I'm just trying to see where I can watch the Fed meeting. Does that face give you, like, look, I'm not, but I don't have confidence in whatever decision this guy's making. No offense, but I just don't have any confidence in whatever decision he's making. All right. We're going to get taken out there. Only up $188.
Stop
$200 on the MNQ. Sell here. Sell here. Why are my lines not showing up on this chart? You know, you would think. I'm going to try this continuous auto fit. See if that helps. Let's see. Yeah, no, that doesn't work for me. Sorry. There's a reason why I never have that setting on. All right. Nothing to do. So I wait for 10 minutes for the reaction.
Stop filled.
Yeah, whatever. Fed press conference. Watch live 3 hours ago. Okay, this look gives me a little bit more confidence. I got a little more confidence there. Yeah, we got riffraff here. You notice I've been somehow riffraff has been coming up in my suggestions. So if we go here, this is,
Iceberg Simpson. Iceberg Simpson.
don't know what to tell you.
And they fuck with a hoe who rock.
So, anyways, we'll wait for the Fed meeting. Let's see here. Let's put some stop losses in there. We're at 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have some profit levels here. Take some profit. We'll go short if it gets up there. Here. The ES, we're left with one position in. The move is actually long there. Bitcoin. Missed that move on Bitcoin. Don't want to go. I mean, in this area, we want to go long. We'll wait till it gets there potentially. Let's do a actual something at 0.01. And let's just do an entry at 0.01. A buy at this level. That way we get picked up. It'll make us aware that we're in the position. All right. Let's see. We've got 4 minutes and 55 seconds to the conference. Let's look at the SPX. Or SXP. That was something someone mentioned in Discord. Ethereum. Let's check out the Doge. Yeah, holding at the RDA. FCX. Ooh, ugly day there.
Stop filled.
Ugly day there. CPLG. Okay. Precious metals might be selling off. Let's look at tech. Yeah, ugly day there. So let's look at Coinbase. Yeah. Maybe it might try to hold above 200. Who knows? You're just guessing at this point in time. We got knocked out of our ES position, I think. Yeah, we did. So, like I said, we should be long. But we'll be short here. So, and then short here, and short here. And we will do one entry here. There we go. Looking to scale in.
Order filled.
What was that on? Oh, we must have got knocked out or hit a profit. Yeah, we hit a profit on our MNQ. I shouldn't be trading the mini. That's fine. I'll just keep it on these charts. I should change this over to MNQ. That way I can have the yeah. It's working great. There we go. And let's change this to all right. Take us out up there. And then here I should change this to, oh, that's all good. Okay, we'll keep it at that. So then I can remove all these. Cancel all. Now these will be trailing stops. 3 and 4. Now let's go back to the ES.
Order filled.
Enter there. Enter there. Enter there.
Giving all my love and all my pain for this. It ain't no game with this. I'm in my lane.
Yep. In the lane. ESU, we're down on. Obviously, we're early as typical. MNQ is up to 500 here. I want to end the day at the least maybe above 60. Ideally, in this account, I should be able to do that. I don't know why I shouldn't, or why it shouldn't happen. Like I said before, just with this FMLC meeting, sometimes things could move, sometimes not. Yeah, they're right on time. Waiting for CNBC. Okay. We're going to want to be bigger than this,
Order filled.
especially on this move.
Order filled.
I'll be more than happy if it spikes up and picks me up here. But at the same time, it can just find this as the bottom. So hopefully playing this will not get me. I'm going to go there. YouTube.com/Fed Reserve Board. I think this one, I mean, MSNBC.
Fiscal policy actions are also providing strong support to the recovery.
Yeah, whatever.
Indicators of economic activity and employment have continued to strengthen, and real GDP this year appears to be on track to post its fastest rate of increase in decades. Much of this rapid growth reflects the continued bounce back in activity from depressed levels.
You would think.
The sectors most adversely affected by the pandemic remain weak, but have shown improvement. Household spending is rising at a rapid pace, boosted by the ongoing reopening of the economy, fiscal support, and accommodative financial conditions.
Guy does not look comfortable.
The housing sector is strong, and business investment is increasing at a solid pace. In some industries, near-term supply constraints are restraining activity. Forecasts from
In
FOMC
some?
participants for
I don't know,
economic
most
growth this
industries
year have been
I'm
revised
interacting
up
with,
since
I
our
have
March
supply
summary economic
chain
projections.
challenges.
Even so, the recovery is incomplete, and risks to the economic outlook remain. As with overall economic activity, conditions in the labor market have continued to improve, although the pace of improvement has been uneven. Employment rose 419,000 per month on
Wonder why.
average in April and May, with the leisure and hospitality sector continuing to post
usually don't watch
notable
these things.
gains.
But
Employment in this sector and the economy as a whole remains well below
I
pre-pandemic
usually just trade them.
levels.
Sometimes I have it
The
on.
unemployment rate remained elevated in May at 5.8%, and this figure understates the shortfall in employment, particularly as participation in the labor market has not moved up from the low
Order
rates
filled.
that have prevailed for most of the past year. Factors related to the pandemic, such as caregiving needs, ongoing fears of the virus,
Order
and
filled.
unemployment insurance payments, appear to be weighing on employment growth. These factors should wane in coming months against a backdrop of rising vaccinations, leading
Order
to
filled.
more rapid gains in employment. Looking ahead, FOMC participants project the labor market to continue to improve, with the median projection for the unemployment rate standing at 4.5% at the end of this year and declining to 3.5% by the end of 2023. The economic downturn has not fallen equally on all Americans, and those least able to shoulder the burden have been hardest hit. In particular, despite progress, joblessness continues to fall disproportionately on lower wage workers in the service sector and on African Americans and Hispanics. Inflation has increased notably in recent months. The 12-month change in PCE prices was 3.6% in April and will likely remain elevated in coming months before moderating. Part of the
elevated.
increase reflects the
probably
very
double
low
that,
readings
but
from
that's fine.
early in the pandemic falling
I
out
know.
of the calculation, as well as the pass-through of past increases in oil prices to consumer energy prices. Beyond these effects, we are also seeing upward pressure on prices from the rebound in spending as the economy continues to reopen, particularly as supply bottlenecks have limited how quickly production in some sectors can respond in the near term. These bottleneck effects have been larger than anticipated, and FOMC participants have revised up their projections for inflation notably
Order
for
filled.
this year. As these transitory supply effects abate, inflation is expected to drop back toward our longer-run goal, and the median inflation projection falls from 3.4% this year to 2.1% next year and 2.2% in 2023. The process of reopening the economy is unprecedented, as was the shutdown at the onset of the pandemic.
Stop filled.
As the reopening continues, shifts in demand can be large and rapid, and bottlenecks, hiring difficulties, and other constraints
Oh,
could
I'm on a
continue to
separate
limit how
account there,
quickly
separate.
supply can adjust,
This is the M.
raising the possibility that inflation could turn out to be
I'm trading
higher
a separate
and more
contract.
persistent than we expect.
Rookie mistake.
Our new framework for monetary policy emphasizes the importance of having well-anchored inflation expectations, both to foster
Stop
price
filled.
stability and to enhance our ability to promote our broad-based and inclusive
back to the MNQ
maximum employment
again.
goal. Indicators of longer-term
Stop
inflation
filled.
expectations have generally reversed the declines seen earlier in the pandemic and have moved into a range that appears broadly consistent with our longer-run inflation goal of 2%. If we saw signs that the path of inflation or longer-term inflation expectations were moving materially and persistently beyond levels consistent with our goal, we'd be prepared to adjust the stance of monetary policy. The
Order
pandemic
filled.
continues to pose risks to the economic outlook. Progress on vaccinations has limited the spread of COVID-19 and will likely continue to reduce the effects of the public health crisis on the economy. However, the pace of vaccinations has slowed, and new strains of the virus remain a risk. Continued progress on vaccinations will support a return to more normal economic conditions.
Order filled. Order filled.
The Fed's policy actions have been guided by our mandate to promote maximum
Order
employment
filled.
and stable prices for the American people, along with our responsibilities to promote the stability of the financial system. As the committee reiterated in today's policy statement, with inflation having run persistently below 2%, we
Order
will aim to
filled.
achieve inflation moderately above
All
2% for some time so that inflation averages 2% over time, and longer-term inflation expectations remain well anchored at 2%. We expect to maintain an accommodative stance of monetary policy until these employment and inflation outcomes are achieved. With regard to interest rates, we continue to expect that it will be appropriate to maintain the current 0 to 1/4% target range for the federal funds rate until labor market conditions have reached levels consistent
Order
with the committee's
filled.
assessment of maximum employment, and inflation has risen to 2%.
Market's gonna
and is
react
on
in
track
some
to
of this stuff
moderately
here.
exceed 2% for some time. As is evident in the SEP, many participants forecast that these favorable economic conditions will be met somewhat sooner than previously projected. The median projection for the appropriate level of the federal funds rate now lies above the effective lower bound in 2023. Of course, these projections do not represent a committee decision or plan, and no one knows with any certainty where the economy will be a couple of years from now.
Order filled.
Really?
More important than any forecast is the fact that whenever liftoff comes, policy will remain highly accommodative. Reaching the
Highly
conditions for
accommodative.
liftoff will mainly signal that the recovery is strong and no longer requires holding rates near zero. In addition, we are continuing to increase our holdings of Treasury securities by at least $80 billion per month and of agency mortgage-backed securities by at least $40 billion per month until substantial further progress has been made toward our maximum employment and price stability goals. The increase in our balance sheet since March 2020 has materially eased financial conditions and is providing substantial support to the economy. At our meeting that concluded earlier today, the committee had a discussion on the progress made toward our goals since the committee adopted its asset purchase guidance last December. While reaching the standard of substantial further progress is still a ways off, participants expect that progress will continue. In coming meetings, the committee will continue to assess the economy's progress toward our goals. As we have said, we will provide advance notice before announcing any decision to make changes to our purchases.
There we go.
On a final note, we made a technical adjustment
Pick us up.
today to the Federal
Order
Reserve's
filled.
administered rates.
Order filled.
The IOER and overnight RRP rates were adjusted upward by 5 basis points in order to keep the federal funds rate well within the target range and to support smooth functioning in money markets. This technical adjustment has no bearing on the appropriate path for the federal funds rate or stance of monetary policy. To conclude, we understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country.
Oh, yeah?
Everything we do is in service to our public mission.
Oh, yeah?
We at the Fed will do everything we can to support the economy for as long as it takes to complete the recovery. Thank you. I look forward to your questions.
Mr. Chair. First, we'll go to Rachel Siegel, The Washington Post.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Chair Powell, for taking our questions. I'm wondering if you can walk us through expectations
look at
you
that.
have, specifically when it comes to the labor market going into 2023. And I'm curious about people who may have left the labor market, who have yet to come back, or who may face issues with
What is that,
childcare,
Cast?
perhaps they've
Is that
retired
that book
early.
there, Cast?
Any barriers that you see keeping people
I
from
like
the
looking
labor
at
market
bookshelves when
as you
people
consider
show bookshelves to see
employment
what's
going
on their
into
bookshelf.
2023? Thank you.
Thank you. So I would say if you look at the labor market and you look at the demand for workers and the level of job creation and think ahead, I think it's clear, and I am confident that we are on a path to a very strong labor market.
Order
a labor
filled.
market that shows
Order
low
filled.
unemployment, high participation,
Order filled.
rising wages for people across the spectrum. I mean, I think that's shown in our projections. It's shown in
Order filled.
outside projections. And if you look through the
Order
current
filled.
time frame and think 1 and 2 years out, we're going to be looking at a very, very strong labor market. In terms of exactly what that means, we'll have to see how things evolve. I think we learned during the course of the last very long expansion, the longest in our history, that labor supply during a long expansion can exceed expectations, can move above its estimated trend. And I have no reason to think that that won't happen again. At the same time, we have seen, in terms of participation, we've seen a significant number of people retire. And so we don't actually
Order
know
filled.
exactly what labor force participation will be as we go forward, but I would tend to look at it and think that it can return to high levels, although it may take some time to do that. But
Order
overall,
filled.
this is going to be a very strong labor market. In terms of the near term, you ask as well. So we see a few things that seem likely to be holding back labor supply. There are very large amounts of job openings, and there are a very large number of people who are unemployed, and the pace of filling those jobs somehow feels slower than it might be. So I point to a number of things. The first of which is just that most of the act of sort of going back to one's old job, that's kind of already happened. So this is a question of people finding a new job. And that's just a process that takes longer. There may be something of a speed limit on it.
Okay. So
You've
none
got
of
to
the
find a job
unemployment
where
benefits
your
have nothing to
skills
do with it?
match what the employer wants. It's got to be in the right area.
Stop filled.
There's just a lot that goes into the function of finding a job. So that's sort of a natural thing. In addition, I would say that we look at, for example, a significant number of people still say that they're concerned about going back to work in jobs where there's a lot of public facing because of COVID. So that's clearly holding back some people, and that should diminish as vaccinations move ahead. There's also the question of childcare. Many are engaged in caretaking.
Okay.
And
I really literally don't care about what this guy has to say. Sorry if you do. You can watch it later. All right. So I've been trading, as you can see. I haven't been talking because that guy would just drone on about, whatever. Should be sorry. I was bigger. I was taking profits, but do have some trailing stops in. We are
Order filled.
looking to go long on the MNQ here. Fade trade. I'm also on the MNQ. I can see another chart, so I'm not just trading off that one chart that you see there. I can see another chart. we're at a pretty key level on the MNQ. So
Order filled.
I'll go in a little bit. I expect some kind of reaction at this point, no matter what the talking head on TV says.
Order filled.
All right. Bitcoin still haven't got picked up at that area. Not going to chase this trade. We early in the MNQ? Could be. Could be a little early there. Quite possibly. Yeah.
No one taught me, I was like, damn, fuck it, I do it myself.
Yep. All right. It's going to change here.
Order filled.
Let's go here. Let's take 1,
Order filled.
2,
Order filled.
3.
Order filled.
Let's keep this trail stop there.
The slump is over, we winning again. Bring some money out, homie, winning again.
I know it's going to annoy people. But like I said, I need kind of like, without being able to stream music, I just can't talk to myself. It doesn't give me the same energy as music does. We're early on this. We don't want to see a range expansion on this because that means we're really early, but we're not going heavier because number one, at this even 61,000, I can't go heavier. So I'm going to stay where we're at. That's going to be our entry for now. And I am seeing this where we need to reverse this.
Order filled.
So we'll reverse that.
Order filled. Order filled.
Reverse on the ES.
Order filled.
And buy there. Get picked up there, buy there. And get picked up there. Should have protective stops here in case there is a spike. But so far the market's reacting how you'd expect it. But there could be literally that a guy could literally say something that would just cause the market to, you know, it could be one word. The algos will then kick in. Go long there.
Order filled.
I'll go long one more.
Order filled.
All right. Smaller than I want to be, but I don't like this entry. Because I could stall here just as easily as it can move up from where it's at, but we'll see what it's going to do. Come on, you can do better than that. Bitcoin, same place. Not going to chase the trade. Okay. Why is my ping so high? I need to look and see why my ping's so high. Shouldn't be that high. Alright. Let's take a little bit off MNQ here.
Order filled.
Join the ask.
Order filled.
Join the ask.
Order filled.
Up to 64,000. Not bad.
Order filled.
Okay.
Order filled.
We'll either get out of this or it's going to move. So It needs to move right now for it to move. Okay. Oh, we were up 64,000. Oh, well. It's life in the big leagues. Let's go. Come on, you want to rip up? I can see it. It's been foretold. Go. Ah.
The past is the past, you know? It's a new day, bro. I'ma put it on my day. You gotta do it now.
Yeah, there we go. Let's look at the 5 minute. Okay. Guess we can enter down here too. Just get us better basis. MNQ.
Order filled.
I got out of the MNQ just because the charts are virtually the same. So I'll see that and see that. We're trading the same pattern, so you're not diversifying if you're in another if you're in another thing that's in the same pattern. There's no diversification there. So you're just really you're in double the position. So that's why I got out of that. Let's cancel all these. Yeah, if anything. Okay. This is really slow moving. We could see a spike here on the upside though. Want to be alerted if I'm taken out. And since we're moving charts, we want to be alerted if it dips. So yeah, Bitcoin, that seems to be a bottom. Just don't want to take that trade. It's right at a decision point. Bad entry. That level's holding though. So if it holds another hour in, the hour is about to close. It's 1:52, 13:52. If it holds in the second hour, then probably go long.
Order filled.
All right. So which one got filled? All right. So we got a profit taken out. So we're not going to go negative now. So let's put in some trailing stops. Not going to let it go to zero. Get taken out here and start over, if anything. Really close there, though. Technically, I should have shorted that up there. But we're in the fade. The fade seems a stronger play, given how far it's retraced. Once again, I'm trading the Rexdog system, so I'm not trading anything outside of the rules, quote unquote. All right. There we go. Okay. We want to not have these trailing like they are here. We'll have them trail down below, given how it's moving now. Take some off.
Order filled.
There we go. There we go, broke, taking profit. Literally, it's just waiting now. Then the next trade is up here. So next trade. Here. 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 Overshoot. I mean, really, the next trade is here. But we're looking for an overshoot. Or we're going to get taken out on our trails. Hour, we're 5 minutes from the hour close. There's literally nothing else to do except sit here and wait for it to do something. We want to be long, and we are long. But we want to be long at a bigger size, actually. Yeah, I missed the best. Well, I did take some profit here, but I'm not gonna. I just don't want to step on the gas position size here. All right. Let's see.
I'm one word with 10 letters, successful. One word with 10 letters, successful.
I haven't got all the WAV files from what I asked for. I asked having someone make these WAV files based on specific things. So I probably have another 40 I need to load into the soundboard. So there is some repeat on some of this stuff. Okay, we're waiting patiently. It's gonna come up here and fail, so I probably need to be up here. Here's where I need to start entering. Spike through that, pick me all up, and take me out. That's what I'm really looking for. those that like to track P&L, we started what at 50 or something around there. Now we're up to 67. It's not bad. Come on. You can do it. I know you can. Yep. There you go. So here's what I'm looking for it to spike up here, pick me up. Will take me out and then pick me up, obviously in the short. Because this account is first in, first out, does not have hedging. So we need to be taken out before we can go short on this particular account. I'm not short yet on another one, but I'll be short up there. Is it going to fall short? That's the problem. Am I being too aggressive on the entry? No. We'll be stubborn. Let's look at Bitcoin. I know this can be really boring. That's, I think, why also the music helps me kind of just keep my mind going. You know, we should have went long there, back here, but I just, look, I'm not going to go long where it's not the best entry and you're expecting reactions. So well, maybe it did check in there, and maybe that's the extent of the check-in it wants to do. Who knows? Alright, this is behaving the way it should. Yeah. Come on. Come up there.
I can never lose what you go.
Alright. We're at 47 minutes on this recording, so I'm going to stop it and then start it over so it renders down good. Okay, so this is exactly why I switched accounts, because, like I said, I could still be trading the other sub account, but
Order filled.
I'm trading at size, larger sizes.
Order filled.
I think I'm just going to start doing that. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we're getting taken out, and we're getting...
Order filled.
We're short now, so we're getting short where we want to get short.
Order filled.
And let's put another one here. One here. Just layer in. Take as much as we can get. There we go. This is momentum trade. It is not a fade trade. We're no longer in a fade. We're in a momentum trade now. Expecting, it's 1407, so we're expecting the sell-off to then hit pretty fierce here, maybe in the next 5 to 10 minutes. If it doesn't, then we're on the wrong side of this trade. Let's see. Where are we at on Bitcoin? Nothing to do.
Order filled.
Just nothing. We missed the trade on Bitcoin. So there's no reason to not chase it or just even get involved yet. Alright. Nothing's going on. There's nothing to really see. Nothing to look at. SPX is coming up here. It's on the 30-minute. Might have a little bit more to go there on that. Potentially could go up to 4230. Let's make sure we're covered there. Yeah. Let's do this. I don't think it's going to get that high based on what's happening, but it very well could. So we're going to be a little bit less aggressive on our scaling in and scaling up here. I know I'm quiet, but there's nothing literally to do. I can look at other stuff, but there's nothing. I'm too just relaxing from, I just kind of got back from my appointment, kind of just jumped right into it. Got back from my appointment, saw this big spike here, and I'm like, damn. This big red candle, I'm like, damn. Wish I would have been there for that move. I don't know if I would have picked it up, but I did pick up the reaction. That's when I said, you know what, I should be just trading larger sizes. I need to be in another sub account. So switched over to the other sub account, and then now we're at where we're at. I know I keep changing what I'm doing, but it's hard for me to I said this before, I don't need another challenge. I don't need a challenge of trying to grow a small account. It's mainly because the people that I've seen do that, they're doing it to kind of, well, I guess it's a challenge for them, but they also doing it more to like gain new subscribers or new members and I understand, I get why you do it. It's like, hey, you can do this too, and yes, you can. It's just like for me, like my time is extremely limited. That's even more forefront when I go to these medical appointments. So for me, like, I don't have time to waste. I don't have time to just play around. This is even lower than I want to be trading at. So we were early, as I said before. Should have been more patient. Go in here.
Order filled.
There we go. It's just kind of in this melt up scenario.
Order filled.
That was pretty exciting. Multiple people.
Order rejected.
Oh, look at that. We hit our limit. Well, we did. So even at this size, I trade how I typically would trade. I'm surprised there's not some reaction to the downside more than that there is, but it'll come. Bitcoin still is nothing to do there. Wonder if we're at the weekly open on that. No. Not yet. Weekly open is 39. Right around here. That's the weekly open. Put that level up here. Alright, ideally we're going to get a green candle close here in another 2 minutes. And then they're going to get a follow through green candle close that's going to another follow through green candle that's going to pick us up on all these positions. And then we see a sell off. That's what we're really looking for now. As we project out what could potentially happen there in this move. Okay, we'll move a couple of these up because it's going to close on the high end of that green candle. If we do have to get out of this, we'll ding our P&L a little bit. Still be green. I guess it could spike up. Alright, come on. Need the same range as this candle here to pick us up. That's what we need. So the same range, see these ranges are matching. Pretty close, a little bit smaller range. Similar range, similar range. So we're looking for the similar type of range here. Believe it or not, there's still a momentum trade. Because the algorithm hasn't switched over yet, has it? So we're still a momentum
Order
trade.
filled.
There we go. Starting to get picked up where we want to get picked up now. Should have had a little bit better entry on this, especially when I recognized kind of where it was going. Weird. Especially when I recognize where it was going. Yeah. Oh, come on. There we go. That's what we want to see. I actually want to get picked up here. And it's not going to pick me up here. Three minutes left in this candle. I know I'm being quiet, but there's nothing, I mean, there's no other thing for me to do. Literally, there's nothing else for me to do. Bitcoin's just sitting, I mean, it's slowly grinding up. Kind of the same way this is. But we still got to get to the weekly open. So, there's nothing to do except for maybe a failure at the weekly open, and even then we want to do it above. So, if we do, then we definitely want to we want to go short above the weekly open. If it doesn't spike through it, we'll go short above the weekly open most likely. Not getting picked up here either. So at this point, if we don't get picked up here, we're just going to roll with this position at a size of 17, because it's either going to pick us up and then sell off, or it's going to sell off from here. So, and if it doesn't sell off from picking us up, then we just get out. Pretty simple. Should have been better entry than what we got here, though. Would have liked a better entry. Just started a little too early on that. Of course, we are now $3,600 in the hole.
Order filled.
There we go.
Order filled.
Okay. That's what we're looking for. All right, keep going. This is really where we should have started our position. I said that twice on this stream. Not even stream, this video. All right. Now we do not want to see a range expansion and a follow through on this candle. We can see a pop above. That's fine. It's more than fine. So we can see that. But we want to see a sell off here pretty quick. Otherwise, we need to get out and take the loss. Nothing to do here. Literally nothing to do. I said trading's mainly waiting. We might have a momentum shift over here, so we might want to respect that, but we'll see. As usual, we're early. Or I'm early, I should say. There's nearly no one else on this bus right now. It is being stubborn on the sell-off, though, is it not? This is where not being patient hurts you. In these times like this. It's either you're trading with conviction or not. So, while my entry isn't where I want it to be, should have been better, I'm still trading the same thesis that had me enter the position. Still not at the point where I'm wrong. So, we'll just roll with that. You know, this Bitcoin just keeps grinding up too. So it's like, probably took a participation trade at least down here, like I said before. But our first thesis is still the weekly open. When volatility is slowed down and it's just grinding, sometimes it's just best to take a step back and just let the charts do what they want to do and trade the system. You know, we're trading on this, we're trading the momentum of this move. It's just an overshoot of momentum. So now the question is, where does the day want to end? Because we're running out of time. This is the other thing. So it's 14:23. We're really running out of time for this sell-off to happen. So it either needs to happen in the next 7 minutes, or we probably need to just get ourselves out of this position. But we don't have that answer yet, do we? The market hasn't given us the answer yet. So we could jump the gun here and say, well, we didn't get our answer quick enough. Should get out here and just take the loss about what we're at here. But the way I trade is wait for the closes. This candle hasn't closed yet. So this candle is not valid yet. This candle right here, the red one, or this potential, the one that's happening right now, it hasn't closed yet.
Order filled.
All right, so it picked us up. I gave us one answer. There should be some strong reaction here. There's not, then we got our answer. We're down even more, down to 7.5.
Order filled.
Look at that. All right. Here we go. Bitcoin's doing the same thing. It's going for the weekly open. There it is. Hit the weekly open. Now's not the time to get in there, because it could just spike up. So, not going to get in that. And this here, in this next 5 minutes, better sell off, otherwise we're taking a loss. And we're down to 61,000, so it knocked. If I get out here, it'd be knocked 8 to 10 grand off my P&L. That upside momentum is just not stopping. So that leads me to believe that maybe the sell-off scenario isn't going to happen, and potentially it wants to hold these highs. Oh. This is also why you want to start probably at this other level, this breakdown candle here, because then I'd be half of this profit. I could take half off now, technically, and then see what happens from there. But my thesis still hasn't lost out yet. But it's pretty obvious that the momentum is long here. It's pretty obvious. But I do like what I'm seeing on the larger tick chart. Problem is the rollover rate maybe is shy of our entry. So will the market give us an opportunity to get out at break even, and will we take it? That's the question. All right, so here we go. We're getting an opportunity to get out at break even, potentially. I'm tired all of a sudden. Mainly because I'm probably watching one damn chart. That's probably why. And this tires me out. Early, once again. Algorithms shift over. Do like what I'm seeing on the large tick. Could just as well use that level. Strangely, the market knows that we have an entry right there, so it's stalling right there. That's not strange. It's basically bad entry. Entering too early. Okay. Anytime now you want to sell off, I'm ready for it. Or you could just spike up from here, I guess. Higher probability on a sell-off. But as you can see, it's using that level. And if it does, and that means it probably will take off from here if it actually does get up there. But I don't see anything yet on either tick chart to tell me that it's the wrong move. Did a check in on the 1 hour where we expect. So we expect some reaction here at the 1 hour. See, I don't mention this stuff, but I see all this stuff because I'm looking at the charts. So I don't really remember to maybe mention it until like here, where I probably didn't even know I was referencing the 1 hour on this trade. The 1 hour is down here to the left. What do we see? The 1 hour failing kind of at a key point. So, you know, I saw it earlier. That's when I kind of thought, well, is it going to get there? I was going off the thesis that it was going to treat that pack as a pack and not invalidate it, but it's looking to invalidate that pay attention candle right away. So that's where I kind of I entered a little too early, probably heavy, too early. But we're in profit now. About to be out of profit. In profit, out of profit, in profit, out of profit. In profit, out of profit. In profit, out of profit. So you might be saying, well, what do you call uncle on this? Well, there's one specific thing I'm watching. And it's possibly playing out. 3 minutes left in this candle. Technically should wait for this candle to close. keeps doing that, then it's on, then we're on the right side of the trade. Thus, I mean, from this point. But if it keeps finding bids in the market, like it's kind of doing, but not really. There we go. I want to see that. I want to see some weakness hit. Let's start at 3. All right.
Order filled.
I'm going to start over. It's too close, so I just got out just a little bit at like at 500. It's probably going to sell off here, but I just we were too large. The market gives you a chance to get out. Sometimes you should take it, even though eventually it's probably on your right. We're probably on the right move here, but we're just too large. And we're about to have a check-in here, and I'm not ready for a spike yet. It is changing over the way I expect. So and we're heading into the close. So we're going into the close. So there could, if we look at this day, this is the one thing you need to be mindful of. If you look at the day, I'd say there's a higher probability it wants to still sell off, then close the day on the high end here. Maybe it wants to close above the M9. Maybe that's what it's trying to do. I think there's a higher probability it's going to close down here. But I'm not going to go in here. I guess I could have took half off there. But part of it is, like I said, you're going into the close. Do you really want to be large going into the close? No. I was just too early for that thesis. If I would have entered up here, we'd still be in this trade because we would have already been taking profit. Technically, we probably still should be given that close, but I guess starting from 50 to 69,000 is pretty good. 19 grand. Literally, there's nothing. See, this is one of the problems of being kind of this always in type of trader, is that I make what I consider risk management decisions, but then it ultimately goes through the narrative that I was expecting. So, but it's also protecting myself from myself, I say, because I could have just as well been wrong here, as I'm kind of on sort of the right side of this move. And it's taken into account the day. I mean, the time of the day. It's 14:37. We've got 23 minutes left in the market. It looks like it wants to spike down, but it's very orderly. It's very slow. It's not. There's still bids. When I say that, look, you can just look in the tick chart. And on the tick chart, what do you see? Sell off, buys, 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 sell off, buys. That's very orderly. Compare that to even this move here. So, see this move? sell off, a little bit of buys, sell off, a little bit of buys, sell off, a little bit of buys, sell off. It's just different. The tenor of the sell off is much different. Same with this upside move here. You do have upside move, check in, upside move, check in. But look at that move. See that move? That's straight up. There's no selling in that. There's very little selling. Or I'm not saying there's no selling. There's the long side is outweighing the buy side tremendously. Here that's not happening. Here it's almost equilibrium in a way. Not quite, but it's kind of one way to look at it. So, and it's stalling at a check-in spot where we expect. So while I probably could have eked out a little bit more profit than the $500 or whatever, and that probably wasn't even what it was. You know, it's probably more like $300 given the position size and everything else. It's just it was the market gave us an opportunity to get out at not an $8,000 loss, but at a little bit of a profit. So taking that usually is the best thing when you're early. We might even be early on this little position.
Order filled.
Because it looks like it wants to spike up, doesn't it? Looks like it wants to use the M9 check-in as continue momentum up. So in that case, we'll still participate in this trade, but what we're going to do is we're going to enter here and enter here. This is what I call end-of-day participation trade of the failure narrative. So basically a fade trade. It's a fade trade at this point in time. Yeah, see that? Doesn't want to sell off until it does. I've traded a lot into the close, by the way. I've traded a lot into the open. So, just so you know, I mean, I don't usually trade into the close much anymore, just because usually by this time I've done pretty well, and I just don't see it's like I got to trade at lower sizes, so it's just not worth it. So you can get some explosive moves into the close, but you got to be on the right side of it, and you can't really go large because you cannot get explosive moves. So it's great to make the extra P&L, but at the end of the day, it's not really usually the day. I mean, like I said, if I would have stopped here, wouldn't have been down $600 right now, and really the most we're going to make on this is maybe $1,500. The most we're going to make on this trade is $1,500. So it's not going to bump us up another 5 to 10 grand because we just can't size at that. I mean, I could.
Order filled.
But it doesn't make sense to size at that. See, look at that. See, there's no selling in there. You see no selling in that. And then eventually someone's going to hit the sell button, like right there. See? Someone hit the sell button. Someone in the algorithm, either their wife just left them, they're selling everything, or whatever reason. That's what I was wanting to see before when we were entering, but we didn't see that. Didn't see a move like this to the downside. That's what I was waiting for. I guess I should have waited for the double check-in, the double top. Should have been more patient. Here we go. We're participating. This is no longer valid. At 1200, we'll put this at 2. Will not take a loss on this, so if it spikes up, I want to be here. It's going to probably spike down here. Anticipate this is where we're going to find our sell-off. Bitcoin's not really moving. Kind of in a range. All right. You just need to rip down now. Just rip down. Rip down to this range. That's all I'm looking for is rip down to this range. Right around 4,200 is perfect place for you to stop. So, we're going to get taken out on our trailing stops here. We do expect to stall there.
Stop filled.
Yeah. I really don't want to be out of this here, though. So, I will put that there and put this here. Sell off, man. I think you want to. BLZ is up 13% on USDT. Let's see if there's a potential opportunity there. Oh, probably should enter the proper quantity. Geez, it's already had a huge sell-off, so I don't even know if it's a good area to... Not a good area to short there. I mean, it's up, but it's from a high rejection, which isn't the best area. Guess I can show you on the chart. So, BLZ, US, BLZ, perp. How come it's not Blaze perp? Is this it? Yeah, so we can see here there's been a rejection there. The day. This isn't it. I don't know what this is. BLZ USDT. Oh, that's why. So you can see it rejected at the Rex Dog average. That would have been a great short, obviously, at the Rex Dog average. So we kind of missed the best entry. But if you look at the 5-minute chart here, this is where you do see some divergences. So the 5-minute chart, but it had a huge rejection here from here. So really you would think that this might be a good level to short. In all reality, the best level to short is around here. That's the best level to short. Because you can get, basically if you short here, it's not a good fade because you're fading. You got to fade somewhere into this high. That's the only way to fade that. All right. Guess I was kind of right. We're at that right around that 1500 mark. Maybe a little bit better. Obviously, if we would have stayed in, of course, it would have spiked back up to like 9,000. We were like, okay, great. Got to wait for the close. Let's see. Bitcoin's not doing anything really. I mean, it is. I mean, it's in the range. Rejected at the weekly open. I guess you could have took that trade possibly. It more looks like where it's going right now is it's actually going to fail at the weekly open, and maybe we should be short. Should almost be short. So, we'll see if we get picked up there. I doubt it. But yeah, and this isn't selling off either. This is trying to hold. We're 13 minutes to the close. So it's not selling off either. I won't get taken out here.
Stop filled.
There we go.
Stop filled.
All right. Now probably will continue to sell off. but the M9 held again. All right, well, 20 grand is nothing to sneeze at. That's pretty good. I'll take that for whatever, however long we've been trading. Hour and a half, 2 hours. All right, well, I think I'm going to call it just because I'm just sitting here doing nothing. So I just realized that I'm reading other stuff, I'm doing other stuff, and I'm forgetting that I'm live streaming, but not live streaming, but recording. So let me end this session. So we started with the $10,000 account, and I wanted to trade bigger size because, once again, I don't need a challenge. So I switched accounts. Bitcoin is selling off kind of at that weekly open area. So in some ways we should be short here. Yeah, shorting at that weekly open would have been probably the right move there. Right now we're at the middle of a range. Could short it with a continuation because where is price coming from? Where is it going? Well, it still might be going to that lower level. We go back to the 1 hour. It might be going back down here to test down here. But it could just as easily, because we're at a really bad area to short. Because look at those levels. 1, 2, 3, we got a close, an open, a close. It's not a great area to short from. If we get picked up higher and then it comes down, then we'll take it. But if we don't get picked up higher, there's no reason to enter a short here. And here, this is continuing to sell off, so we kind of got out of that a little bit early. But 10 minutes into the close, we're done for the day. So I might continue to trade this sub account going forward, just because it's bigger numbers. And I don't know. I'll decide. See you in the next video.